Okay, so this is the second part of the ANOVA. So in my first lecture, I already discussed what is ANOVA, how you will interpret, how you will conduct ANOVA. So in that lecture, I have already discussed a very simple example. In this lecture, I'm just going to show you that how you will construct analysis of variances hypothesis. So as I already mentioned, that if you are comparing mean between more than two groups, so if we have only two groups, then we will conduct a student T test. But if the number of group, if the number of data set are more than different type of data set, if the number of those data set are more than two, so we can still use T statistic, but at the end it will create a little bit problem. As the number of T statistic increase, the probability of making a type 1 error also increase. So you know that what is type 1 error and what is type 2 error, because in the hypothesis testing we have already discussed in great detail what is type 1 and what is type 2 error, and for this purpose I have already discussed that in a specific lecture, and the lecture title was the criminal trial example. In that example, I have already discussed what is type 1 and what is type 2 error. So before ANOVA, because ANOVA was introduced by Ronald F. Fisher in 1920, this was the only option available to compare mean between more than two groups. So T statistic was used in order to compare more than two groups, but when you comparing different groups, it creates a little bit problem. The problem with the multiple t-test approach is that as the number of group increase, the number of two sample t-tests also increase, and there is a probability of type 1 error. So in this lecture, I'm just going to discuss a little bit more ANOVA, when you should need to use ANOVA. So there are some example you can see from the slide. A group of psychiatric patients are trying three different therapies: counseling, medication, and biofeedback. So these are the three different therapies which psychiatric mean the doctor applying on the psychiatric patient. We want to see if one therapy is better than other. So now we have three type of data. We want to know that all these therapies mean all these therapies variances are same, they have same impact on the patient or not. So for this purpose, we can use an analysis of variances. You can also use T statistic while comparing counseling with medication, while comparing counseling with 5-bit fake, or medication with the biofeedback. But once again, as I already mentioned, there will be a chance that you will conduct a type 1 error. Another example is a manufacturer has two different processes to make light bulbs. They want to know if one process is better than the other. So now in this case, two different processes, so you can still use T distribution, and T distribution will be a good option for this. You not need to construct an analysis of variance, because for two different processes, for two different samples, you can still use T distribution. Another example is students from different colleges take the same exam. You want to see if one college outperform the other. Let's suppose different colleges, more than two colleges, three colleges, four colleges. So you can still conduct an analysis of variance to perform, to check that is there any college exists that have outperformed in the other compared to the other college. So in such like scenario, you will conduct analysis of variances. So as I already mentioned, we assume independent random sampling from each of the R population. So actually mean we collect data from a population and all the sample will be independent. There will be no dependency. For example, in the previous example, in my first lecture, we compare different groups. In the first group there was a black tea. The second group, those who not drinking tea, and the third group that was drinking, consuming green tea. So basically black tea, drinking green tea, and not drinking tea, these are all independent. So we assume that our population under study are normally distributed, which means that so it will be normally distributed. Normally distributed is a symmetric distribution where mean, median, and mode are equal, which mean that they may or may not be equal, but with equal variances. So now you can see this population, this sample which we have collected, this population standard deviation, this population standard deviation, and this population standard deviation are same, meaning the dispersion are same. But you can see that maybe there are between the samples, between the population, there will be some variation exist, meaning the ranges are not same. When you compare this with this, maybe they both behaving same, but when you compare this with this, maybe it will not be same. but with equal variances. So you can see the variances are the standard deviation are same, but mean are not equal, because this mean is different from this mean and this mean is different from this mean. So analysis of variance will show us these differences. So starting from the introduction of analysis of variance, how you will conduct the analysis of variance. So ANOVA is used to compare means between 3 or more groups. So why is it called analysis of variance? Because in ANOVA, as I already discussed in the F statistic, we will compare between variability between groups and average variability within group. So basically we will compare the ratio between and within group, and I have already discussed what is within and what is between. The ANOVA F statistic is comparison of the average variability between groups to the average variability within groups. So in the numerator, this is average variability between groups, and in the denominator, average variability within group. The variability within group, each group is a measure of the spread of the data within each of the group. So within group mean that what is the variation occur in a specific one group, and between group what is the comparison of one group with the other or with the third group. So within group and between group, the variability between group is a measure of the spread of the group means around the overall means for all the combined. So I will show you what is within group and what is between group from this specific example. If variability between group is large relative to the variability within group, the F statistic will be large. What is mean? Between group variability, you can see this black line. Variability, so there is a great variability between this. This is 3 type of data. We have 3 different groups. So if variability between group is larger relative to variability within group, the F statistic will be large. Okay, so the F statistic, when you calculate the F statistic for this example, the value of this will be, let's suppose F statistic will be 6. If variability between group is similar or smaller then variability within group, the F statistic will be small. So you can see this is the variability within group and this is variability between group. So you can see the variability between group, the black line is very small as compared to the variability within group. So this is the variability within group and this is variability between group. Now this is the variation between these 3 groups, and this is variability in this simple group. So if variability between group is similar or smaller than variability within group, so if this is same to this, or if this between group variability is smaller than the within group, then the F statistic value will be small. If the F statistic is large enough, the null hypothesis that mean are equal is rejected. When for example, in this example, the F statistic value will be definitely large. As I already mentioned, variability between group is large relative to the variability within group. The F statistic will be large as this is large as compared to within group. So in this case, because numerator is large divided by the denominator, so definitely the value will be very high. For example, 4 divided by 2, it will be 2. And what will be the 2 divided by 4? The value will be much smaller. So when between group is smaller than within group, the F statistic value will be small, and in this cases you will accept that all different group mean will be same, and in this case you will say the F statistic value is very high, so all mean of the group will not be same, it will be different. In this case you will accept H naught and you will reject H naught and you will accept null alternative hypothesis. In this case you will accept H naught null hypothesis and you will reject alternative hypothesis. So in the ANOVA hypothesis, the procedure is much similar, just like we have already discussed in the hypothesis testing about mean, about difference between mean in the F statistic and in the chi-square statistic. So because the number of variable will be more than 2, number of group in the data will be more than 2. So the null hypothesis for ANOVA is that the mean for all group are equal. So let's suppose we have 3 different type of data. We will say, just like in this example, that the mean of this group, the mean of this group, and the mean of this group are same. So we will write this equal to. The alternative hypothesis is that at least 2 of the mean are not equal. So at least let's suppose these 2 mean are equal, but this mean are not equal. So alternative will be that at least 2 of the means of the groups are not equal, are not same. Then we will use a level of significance. Normally we use, just like in the previous example, we will use level of significance 0.05, then we will calculate degree of freedom. So there will be 1 degree of freedom between, and there will be 1 degree from within. So normally k minus 1 show c minus 1. How many sample, how many group we have? Let's suppose we have 3 groups, so 3 minus 1 will be the degree of freedom. And n is the basically n we will calculate n how many observation are in our data. Let's suppose we have 3 group, and in each group there are 4 type of data. Let's suppose if I just construct this, let's suppose this is group 1, group A, group B, and this is group C. Let's suppose 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, and 3, 3, 3. So how many observation we have? How many observation we have? 12. 3 3s are 9. So 9 observation we have. So now it will be, and how you will calculate n? N will be calculated at how many sample, how many group you have? 3. And in each group how many observation you took? So in each group we took 3 observations. So 3, it will be 9. Or you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 observation we have. So how you will calculate degree of freedom for this? So for within, so basically this is the degree of freedom for within, and this is the degree of freedom for between. Between mean we want to compare these 3 groups. So it will be 3 minus 1, let's suppose in this example, and in this one it will be 9 minus 1, it will be 8. Okay, so you can freely move, as I already recorded one of my lecture on the degree of freedom. So before going to that, you also need to watch that video in order to understand the meaning of degree of freedom, where k is equal to number of sample and n is the total number of observations. So how many observation we have? 9. 9 minus 1. So once again, this is the degree of freedom for within, and this is the degree of freedom for between. Then we will calculate F statistic. F statistic, you know, F statistic is F statistic. So average between and average within. Okay, so at this way, when you calculate the F statistic value, if this value is much higher than this, then the F value will be very high. If this value is lower than this, then this value will be very slow, and there will be a chance that you will accept, and there will be a chance that you will reject. So if F value is greater than the tabulated value, then you will reject H0. If it is less than the tabulated value, you will accept, because it's lying in the accepted region. So I hope you understand. In the coming lecture, I will record a lecture on the analysis of variance. So in that lecture, we will discuss one-way ANOVA. In that lecture, I will discuss a very simple example.